Hey guys, welcome to the Learn with Sandra Show channel. I'm Alexandra, and in this space we're all about improving our knowledge in English language for exam purpose or communication purpose. So whether you are a new subscriber or a returning one, thank you for tuning in. So guys, what are we doing today? Today we are solving the 2022 JAMB past question for English language, and we're solving 20 questions, okay? So before we go right into it, I have an announcement, and the big announcement is we are changing the channel name from what it is, right, Learn with Sandra Show, to Lexa Academy. And now you can find us on Facebook and Instagram as Lexa Academy, or the username Lexa Acad. Okay, so do well to follow, engage, share with your family and friends who might benefit from it or who you think might benefit from it. Okay, so without further ado, let's get right into the lesson for today. Question 1. So this question is on that rhyme. So when solving rhyme question, you need to start with the last sound, not the first, not the middle, the last sound, and then you work your way to the first. So the given word is prison. It ends with n. Then we have z, e, and then the first sound is p. Okay, so let's take a look at option A, rising. Rising ends with ng. Okay, so this doesn't rhyme. Okay, we go to option B. Option B ends with n, and we have z, e, and okay, so this rhymes well. Okay, option C ends with n, potion, n, and option D also ends with n and but the best answer to this question is option B, reason, because it has more rhyming sounds compared to option C and D, each of which has only 2. Okay, option B has 5. Okay, so to answer questions like this under rhyme, you need to choose the answer with the most rhyming sound, or the option that has the highest number of rhyming sound, if that makes sense. Okay, so the final answer to this question is option B. Question 2. So this question is also on that rhyme, and when solving rhyme question, we start with the last sound. We look at the last sound, not the first. Okay, we start with the last and we work our way to the first. Okay, so when you want to answer questions like this, the option that has the highest number of rhyming sound from the last is the answer to the question. Okay, so the given word is crate. It ends with t, followed by a. Then we have and k. Okay, crate. Option A, we have great. Okay, it ends with t, a, right, and g. Okay, so option B is mint. It ends with t, but then we have n, which does not rhyme with the given word. Option C cannot be considered, okay, because it ends with k, right? Option D, we have treat. It ends with t, but the next sound is E, right, and it does not rhyme. So the final answer to this question is option A, because it has the most rhyming sound compared to others. So option A is the final answer to this question. So question 3 is under English rhyme, and when solving rhyme, we need to start with the last sound, not the first, not the second or middle. We start with the last sound, we work our way to the first. Okay, rhyme is the correspondence of sound between the ending of words, so we need to start with the last. Guys, note this. Now, from the given word, the last sound is n, followed by o, and then we have f. Okay, so we have phone. So if you take a look at all the options, you see that they all end with the n sound. Okay, so we need to consider the second to the last. Okay, so for option A, it is ow. Okay, we are looking for o. Option B, it is o. All right, grown. Option C, it is ow, gown. Option D, it is ow, brown. Okay, so we are looking for o. Okay, so that makes option B the final answer to this question. It has the highest number of rhyming sound compared to option A, C, and D, each of which has only 1. Okay, option B has 2. Okay, so option B is the final answer to this question. Question 4. Now question 4 is on the word stress, and for questions like this, specifically for 2-syllabic words, there are 2 concepts I would like you to note. The first is word class or part of speech, and the second is stress shift. Now for word class, nouns and adjectives are usually stressed on the first syllable, not all, right? For verbs, they are stressed on the second syllable. So for stress shift, certain words can function as a noun and an adjective. So if it is a noun, it is stressed on the first syllable. If it is a verb, the stress shifts to the second syllable. Okay, now let's take a look at option B and C, right? You can see V in brackets. This implies that this word should be considered or treated as a verb. So this word can also function as a noun. So if we have N in bracket, it means noun. Okay, so we can have suspect and suspect. The policeman found the suspect. I suspect you. Okay, so it can function as a noun and a verb. Project, noun. Project, verb. We have so many examples, right? Object, object. Protest, protest. Conduct, conduct. Okay, so these words should be treated as verbs. Okay, so let's go to option A. Embrace. It is a verb, right? Stressed on the second syllable. Member, a noun stressed on the first syllable. So option C is the final answer to this question because it has a different stress pattern. It is stressed on the first syllable compared to others which are stressed on the second syllable. So option C is the final answer to this question. Question 5. Now question 5 is under consonant sound and the word is watched. Okay, and it is transcribed w, o, ch, and t. So ed is on the line and it is pronounced t. So we are looking for t. Now you might be wondering, why is ed pronounced as t? Now please note this. The ed is a past tense marker. It indicates past tense, and so it has 3 different sounds. 1, t, as in watched, as in washed, as in kissed. It can also be pronounced as d, as in played, as in begged. It can also and finally be pronounced as ed, as in needed, as in pleaded, as in wanted. Okay, so please note this. So we are looking for t. So option A, we have lived. Okay, so we don't have the consonant sound t, okay, in lived. We also don't have it in address. What we have is d, r, s. These are the consonant sound in address. But we have the t sound in letter. Okay, we don't have the sound in march. What we have in march is ch. Okay, ch is different from t and sh. Okay, so whenever you see this consonant sound, they are together. You can't separate them. Okay, it's considered as a consonant sound basically. Okay, so final answer to this question is option C, letter. Question 6. Now question 6 is under emphatic stress. Now when solving questions like this, you need to follow 4 steps. The first is ask yourself what is in capital letter, what is in caps. Now the word in caps is gold and this is our focus. Step 2, ask yourself what is a natural alternative. So you want to think of a word that contrasts with the word in caps, and that word is silver. Now with the first 2 steps, we can conclude that option C is the final answer to this question, right? But let's still consider step 3 and 4. Now step 3 is to keep the tense and the subject the same as the statement. Now what is the statement? John's watch is made of gold. The subject is John's watch. The verb is, right? So if you take a look at option C, you see that it keeps the subject and the verb, John's watch, okay? And the verb is, which is singular present tense. But if you take a look at option D, John's necklace, it's different. Okay, so step 4 is to form a question that tests the contrast only. Okay, so let's take a look at option C. It still works well, right? It's a question that tests the contrast. Okay, is John's watch made of silver? No, John's watch is made of gold. So option C is the final answer to this question. Question 7 is under emphatic stress, and to solve this question we need to follow the 4 major steps. Okay, the first step is what is in caps. This is our focus. The step 2 is to find a natural alternative for the word in caps. Step 3 is to keep the subject and the tense as it is used in the statement. Step 4 is to form a question that tests the contrast only. Okay, so let's go back to the question. We see that the word in caps is stated. Okay, so the best answer to this question is option A, because option A, we see a natural alternative for the word stated, which is lament. Okay, we see that it retains the subject and the tense, right? Did is past tense, right? Adirunke is the subject, and we see that it's the perfect question that tests the contrast. Okay, did Adirunke lament she had a right to her privacy? No, Adirunke stated she had a right to her privacy. Now, if you take a look at option B, C, and D, it retains the focus word states. So the answer to this question is definitely option A. Question 8. So question 8 is under consonant sound and the given word is national and letter T is on the line and this letter is pronounced sh in national. Okay. So option A we have sugar, option B we have rice, option C we have glass, option D we have tree. So the final answer to this question is option A because letter S in sugar is also pronounced as sh. Okay. And more examples of words that have the sh sound. We have flash, we have bash, we have shoe, we have shovel, we have show. Okay, so there are so many examples. Okay, so option B, the consonant sound in option B is and z. Okay, so we don't have sh. Okay, option C, the consonant sounds are g, and s. Option D, the consonant sound are t and okay, so option A is the final answer to this question. Identify the word that has the stress on the first syllable. So option A we have hotel. Okay, so it's stressed on the second syllable. Option B we have esteem, stressed on the second syllable. Okay, so this word is not esteem, it is esteem. Okay, option C we have police, stressed on the second syllable. Option D we have table, stressed on the first syllable. So option D is the final answer to this question because table is stressed on the first syllable whereas option A, B and C are stressed on the second syllable. Question 10. Now this question is under antonyms opposite in meaning and the underlined word is repulsed. So twice it was repulsed with heavy losses and in this context it means driven back, pushed back, dejected, discouraged. Repulsed can also be used to mean disgusted in, right? I was repulsed by the smell. Okay, so but in this context, it means driven back, pushed back, right? So repelled is synonymous, right? Gratified is positive, it means pleased, satisfied, given joy. Option C, irritated is very angry, shocked is surprised. So the best answer to this question is option B, gratified. 11. I only visited Chidi. This means that dash. Okay, so the keyword here is only. And what does this mean? The only thing I did was visit Chidi. I didn't do anything else besides that. Okay, so if you take a look at the options, you see option B is the final answer to this question. I didn't do anything aside visiting Chidi. Okay. Option C, I didn't go with anyone. So this is the problem. I didn't go with anyone. It's just not the answer to the question. I visited Chidi and his friends is the problem. Yeah, so the best answer to this question is option B. 12. Now, my father is parsimonious. Parsimonious is underlined and we are looking at opposite in meaning, okay, antonym. Right, parsimonious means not willing to give, not willing to spend. Okay, option A, thrifty is being careful with money or how you spend. Option B is ungenerous, means not generous. Stingy, not given. Option C, frugal, means economical. It means avoiding waste, right? Generous is giving, willing to give, right? So the best answer to this question is option D, generous, because it is opposite in meaning to the word parsimonious. Parsimonious means unwilling to give. Generous is given, willing to give, right? So option D is the final answer to this question. Question 13. Now, this question is on the opposite in meaning. So, last Easter was an austere period. So, austere is underlined and it means bare, without luxury, without comfort, harsh. Okay, so option A is synonymous, option B is synonymous, option C, prosperous means abundant, it means comfortable, it means comfort, right? Sour is related to taste or mood, so it's not related, right? So, the best answer to this question is option C, prosperous. Okay, option C is the final answer to this question. Question 14. So choose the word that has a different stress pattern. Now I want you to note that certain words can function as a noun and a verb. If they are nouns, they're stressed on the first syllable. If they are verbs, the stress shifts to the second syllable. So examiners will always indicate if they want you to consider these words as either a noun or a verb. Now, as you can see in option A and C, you have V in brackets. This implies verb. If they wanted you to consider it as a noun, it will be N in brackets. So, project, it's a verb. Verbs are usually stressed on the second syllable. Nouns are stressed on the first syllable. Option A is a verb, second syllable. Option B is a noun, first syllable. Option C is a verb, second syllable. Option D is a verb, second syllable. That makes option B the final answer to this question because basic is stressed on the first syllable. Option A, C, and D are stressed on the second syllable. Option B is the final answer to this question. Question 15 is on that consonant sound and the given word is foot. Letter F is underlined and it is pronounced as F. So what we are looking for is F. So option A, we have leave, right? V in leave is pronounced V, and this is the voice counterpart. What do I mean by this? Now, F and V are pronounced the same in the same place. The manner of articulation is also the same. What do I mean by this? The upper side of your teeth touches the lower part of your lip to produce the sound V. The only difference is without vibration, that is, it is voiceless, and V is with vibration, that is, it is voiced. Okay, so we are looking for the voiceless, guys. So option A is not the answer to this question because it has the voice, right? Option B is the voiced vegetable. Option C is traffic. Okay, this is the answer to the question. Option D, however, is voiced of. Okay, so a word that directly contrasts with of is off. Okay, OFF. Okay, so option C is the final answer to this question. Question 16. Choose the option that has a different vowel sound from the others. So option A, we have here. Option B, we have beer. Option C, we have idea. Option D, we have head. Okay, so the vowel sound in option A is a diphthong, ear. Same with option B, ear. Option C, we have two diphthongs, I and ear, idea. Option D, however, is a monophthong, eh. In the word egg, in the word many, eh. Okay, so head is the answer to this question. Option D is the final answer to this question. Question 17. So choose the option that has a different vowel sound from the others. Now, looking at the options, I can tell that examiners want to test if you can identify or differentiate between the short vowel sound and the long vowel sound. The short vowel sound, E, and the long E. Okay, so let's look at some examples or pair of words that would show the contrast between the short and the long. Now, if you observe graphically or in written form, the difference is colon. So the long vowel sound has a colon beside it and the short is without. And the two sounds are produced or pronounced the same way, only that one is short and the other is long. So we have beat, short, beat, 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 feel, feel, did, did, leave, leave, mill, mill, neat, neat. Okay, so there are so many examples. Now, if you observe the pattern, right, the short sound E is usually represented by letter I, right, while the long vowel sound E is usually represented by EE or EA. Okay, so please note this, right? So option A, we have beach, it's the long vowel sound. Option B, we have ski, it's the long vowel sound, right? Option C, we have B, is the short vowel sound. Option D, being, it's the long vowel sound. Okay, so option C is the final answer to this question because it has a different vowel sound, which is a short vowel sound. Question 18. So my account with the bank is in the red. This means that my account is dashed. So in the red is an idiom that means overdrawn, negative balance, or owing the bank money. Okay, so the final answer to this question is option C, overdrawn. Question 19. Fill in the gap with the option that best completes the sentence. Between you and dash is a liar. Now let me give you 3 simple rules. 1. If it is the subject of the sentence, make sure you use you and I. For example, you and I can be friends. If it's the object of the sentence, use you and me. For example, she invited you and me to the party. 3. If it is after a preposition such as between, for, them, with, use the objective case of pronouns. Objective case such as me, them, us. Do not use the subjective case of pronouns such as I. Don't use we. Don't use they. Okay? So let's take a look at this question. Between is a preposition, so we have to use the objective case of pronoun, right? Which is me. Okay? So option B is the final answer to this question. 20. Okay, so the secretary and treasurer did not do dash job. Okay, so to answer this question, we need to ask ourselves, is the subject singular or plural? If it is singular, then we have to use a singular possessive pronoun his. If it is plural, then we have to use the, which is a plural possessive pronoun. Now, this subject is singular, okay? The secretary is the treasurer. The secretary also function as the treasurer. It's one person. Okay, so the answer to this question is option D. Okay, now please note that when the article the comes before the second subject, then it can be regarded as, or it means two different people. Okay, for example, the secretary and the treasurer, then it means two different people, and so we can use there. But in this case, in this sentence, it is singular. Okay, so option D is the final answer to this question. So that's it, guys. We've concluded today's tutorial and we've had an amazing time learning, right? So thank you for staying tuned. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't, and do well to engage as well. Till I see you in my next video. Bye.